What is going on, everybody? It is Alex coming back at you with another video, and today we are going to be doing my 2024 Way Too Early Mock Draft 2.0. You guys asked for this monthly, so no, I am not forcing this to be every single month, but there's been a lot that's changed over this season. It will become a little bit less frequent since there's not going to be as many new games in the offseason, but for now, there's been a lot of cool little updates, and there's a new mock draft order, so I think that'd be a really cool thing to do, because again, you guys love it, and it's continuing my previous mock draft, so if you guys haven't already checked that out, then you're probably a little bit lost, and that is A-okay. Feel free to go check that out. Of course, I'll be giving a quick little recap in this video as to why, or pretty much the main deal is like, okay, which quarterbacks, which tackles were taken. Otherwise, the positions are a little bit variable, and that is A-okay. So I'm going to readjust my ring light because I realized I have it on the wrong side. So for the time being, we'll just keep this right here. And now let's get right into it with the number 1 overall selection. Of course, want to make sure my mouse is out of the way, is Caleb Williams. I do have the Raiders here because there is a potential chance that Derek Carr is gone. In the mock draft, that is the scenario. And it doesn't, like, at this point, it doesn't really matter where Derek Carr is. So that's just the situation we live in. We don't know where Derek Carr is, but he's not on the Raiders in that specific mock draft. Because, again, you cut him, you save $110 million this offseason. That's a lot of money that you save if you want to start redirecting your franchise in a different direction. Caleb Williams just is that difference maker. You know, Sean Payton's going to be drooling over this guy, so maybe at this point, they'll have enough cap to be able to cut McDaniels and maybe get Sean Payton. I don't know. But Caleb Williams, obviously, he is that superstar X factor there in college, so big fan of what he brings to the table ever since he started playing in his true freshman year. Number 2, Marvin Harrison. Yes, I think Tom Brady is going to be gone. I think we already have AR on the team from the past mock draft, so they're not going to go quarterback because AR, we already know, is a project. But, you know, it'd be great having, you know, Mike Evans has been a stalwart for them forever. Now you have Marvin Harrison Jr. to be that stalwart as well. An amazing player, Hall of Fame level talent. Obviously the son of Marvin Harrison, who is also a Hall of Famer. Big fan of that. Pick number 3, Drake Maye to the Colts. Yo, Jim Irsay wanted a young quarterback. This is probably where I would say Derek Carr should go, but God only knows what's actually going to happen. This team does have some critical flaws in it that I personally think might be able to cause it some doom. And you have a lot of young teams in your own division that are getting a lot stronger. I mean, hell, to be fair, the Titans are even just going to continue being pretty damn strong on their own. But you do see the Jaguars, they're on the up. And then also Houston, I actually have them winning the division in 2024 if they end up going with the draft route that I suggested for them, which of course they might not, which again, that will change in time. But then again, this is related to the mock draft I just did. The Colts did not get a quarterback, therefore I don't think they're going to perform too well. Drake Maye has been absolutely phenomenal in his first year starting, so big fan of what that guy brings to the table. Pick number 4, Joe Alt to the Rams. The Rams are just super star-oriented. I know I got Blake Freeland for them in the second round with their first pick. However, I think Blake is extremely versatile. We got a tongue twister today. Blake is extremely versatile. I think he can go, honestly, anywhere you want to put him. So I'm not necessarily afraid of exactly where I should put Blake Freeland. I just know I really want Joe Alt, who is graded out to be the best offensive lineman in college this year. Truly a spectacular player. He definitely is a top 10 to top 5 lock. Next, we got Brock Bowers to the Broncos. Again, this team, like you might say, oh, they have Albert O, they have Greg Dulcich, and they do. I think at 2024, that's when Albert O's contract's going to be up. Don't think they're going to end up paying him. I mean, it's just expensive to start paying these guys. And if I'm not mistaken, they actually have 2 tight ends up for a contract. Brock Bowers is just different. That's the bottom line. Brock Bowers is not just a pure tight end. This guy is going to be that Kyle Pitts level receiving threat. Has been dominating and being an absolute freak since his true freshman year. He's going to continue to do the same there in Mile High. Next, we have the Saints going Quinn Ewers. Again, a team that did not get a quarterback in the last mock draft because the Carolina Panthers poached him. So it's pretty damn obvious that they kind of need a quarterback. And, you know, since they weren't able to do it, I think it's a great destination for a guy like Derek Carr. I think Derek Carr would fit so well in this team. I think that's like the best case scenario for the Saints. Like, hey, you know, the Raiders are like Derek Carr, you gone? This is, I think, the best spot. I used to think it were the Colts, but this team definitely feels like such a good fit for him. So definitely think that he could be a really big star here. But for now, they did not get a QB, and I think that Quinn Ewers would be a really fun option for him. Number 7, the man himself returns to the mock draft. Olu Fashanu, who screwed up my mock draft 7.0, has now returned into this 2024 mock 2.0 to the Bears. Yes, the Bears ended up not getting an offensive tackle, and I still think that even if they did, Olu Fashanu, if they are in the top 10, would be an amazing, amazing get. Obviously, super talented player, should have been a first-round pick at the age of 19 and 20. Now he'll be a top 10 pick at the age of 20 to 21. Number 8, the Steelers. Still got to fix that offensive line. They got Broderick Jones in the past mock draft, and now they got J.C. Latham. They fixed the tackles. They fixed the center. I think they should be on a roll. Probably a little bit low for where the Steelers probably will end up being, but again, this is just more for fun than anything else, so don't take the draft order too seriously. As you guys can tell, it has changed a lot from the last one, and probably will do so in the future. Pick number 9, Dallas Turner goes to the Cardinals. I absolutely love this slide just because of the fact that it's just so, the colors just match so well. Big fan. Obviously, edge rusher is a position I would like to go after if I am the Cardinals, especially if you're at this spot. Offensive line, I'm not going to be going after tackle number 4 at pick number 9, and I'm not going to go after a guard at this pick, so getting somebody of the freakish talent level, Dallas Turner, definitely worth it. Arik Gilbert then goes to the Washington Commanders. He's finally going to play. I think that, his talent is undeniable. It's just we need to see him on the field. So hopefully he does that. Obviously took a year off for COVID because of his family, and not going to hold that against him. He's still super young, still super talented. He's definitely going to take a big step up when Darnell Washington is there in the NFL. Pick number 11, Emeka Egbuka. Yes, now with Xavier Hutchinson as well as Christian Watson, you have Emeka Egbuka. You have a holy trinity of elite wide receivers on your team. Now you're revamping your team for the next 5-10 years of success. I think that's exactly the way they need to rebuild this receiving core after Davante Adams. You're spending it on elite level players who have elite level impact. I think that's a good way to go. Pick number 12, the Titans going Xavier Worthy. I ended up getting Jalin Hyatt in the mock draft, but I think Jalin Hyatt would be definitely better as a boundary. Xavier Worthy, I would love to kick him inside. He's super dynamic as a route runner. I think Hollywood Brown is a very good comp for him. Devontae Smith, Hollywood Brown, that seems to be the mold. Extremely quick, extremely nimble, and he's a really good route runner. So definitely would love to see him in a much more nifty role there in the NFL for the Titans. Next, we got A.D. Mitchell. He has been a potential X-level wide receiver, and since we did not get Quentin Johnston for the Jaguars, I think that he'd be a really damn good fit. Obviously, getting a wide receiver, number one wide receiver at that matter, has been like kind of the focus for quite a minute there for Jacksonville, and ended up being to a big overpay for Christian Kirk as well as Zay Jones. And even though they played better than we probably projected originally, you're still looking for somebody to be that true number 1, that true X boundary receiver. I think A.D. Mitchell could certainly be that. Next, we got J.J. McCarthy. You might say, why the hell is he down here? Again, I think that he could be a totally talented, he could definitely be a top 10 player. There's a lot of quarterbacks that have already gone, right? And he could certainly be on that list of the dudes in the top 10. But for now, this is where he's going to be. He had pretty much 50% completion percentage against Ohio State. I think that he should probably try to improve that. We're still waiting for him to be that guy who can totally take over a game, but hasn't really needed to. And he was able to prove that even without Blake Corum, who's a Heisman candidate, he can still be able to put up some great numbers against a very damn good team. Next, number 15 is one of my favorite guys who's draft eligible this year, Zach Zinter. He's just not getting enough hype. I don't think he comes out, especially if they don't win the Natty. If they do, then he definitely comes out because he'll probably get a lot more recognition. This guy's an absolute stud. He is probably my offensive lineman 1 in the 2023 class. I just don't think he's going to come out. So, you know what? Enjoy the fact that you get an absolute monster at right guard. This guy literally pancakes people while he's standing still. Ridiculous level of talent. Bralen Trice, or Bralen Trice, I think it's Trice, for UW. This guy has been a pure pressure machine. I think he has almost a 30% pass rush win rate, which is almost top. It might be the top in the country. ridiculous level of talent there with Bralen Trice. Again, he technically could come out this year. He is already on my big board in the 60s, just because I haven't fully watched him yet. But my God, the statistics speak for themselves. He's a ridiculous level of talent. You got Nolan Smith there for the Patriots in the round 2, but I mean, you can never have too many edge rushers. Bralen is, I think, in that 269-pound range. I think he's 269, might be 270. So a different style of player to a 235-pound Nolan Smith. I think they could work well together. Kool-Aid McKinstry, I still think DB is the right route to go for the New York Giants, and Kool-Aid is on the defense number, I think he's defensive first team for PFF for the year. Really damn good player overall. He's been super consistent. He's probably one of the few good things there for that Bama defense at the moment, not named Dallas Turner or you could say Eli Ricks too, or Dallas Turner. So Dallas Turner, Will Anderson, they have some pieces, but they haven't worked very cohesively so far. Jeremiah Trotter probably should be up a little bit higher. This guy's been balling out better than Trent Simpson, who went technically higher, but didn't really find a great spot for him earlier. He probably will in the future, but this guy's an absolute freak, true sophomore. His dad played for the Eagles, so you already know there's NFL lineage there too. Production plus lineage plus measurables. Yeah, this guy's definitely going to be a high-end pick. I could even put him probably in the top 10 if I wanted to. Pick number 19, James Williams. I know that Seattle values safety quite a bit, and not saying that they need to take a safety in the first, but James Williams is just a freakish talent. I want to say he's probably a top 5 talent if he does hit, and that to me is just totally worth taking here at pick 19. A defensive back of that size, I think 6'5", 220 pounds, at that age, which I think will be 21, definitely seems worth it if he does have that level of talent as well. Pick number 20. So JT Tuimalau. Yeah, a lot of people are probably going to be trying to say, why did you take Bralen Trice above him? You can swap them if you want. They're both similar. I think they're both 270. So both very similar scheme fits. Both of them very similar in terms of their production. JT's taken over some big games on television. Trice has just done it multiple times, like every single game. So doesn't really matter. Both of them have been absolutely phenomenal. Really can't complain. But I do think a prime edge rusher would be a very good addition there for the Panthers, who obviously show a lot of love towards their edge rushers if they decline 2 first rounds and a second round pick for their star defender in Brian Burns. Pick number 21. Kept this from the last time, Mario Williams. He is an elite receiver as well. He's going to be taking that Jordan Addison role. I think he's going to be absolutely phenomenal. Again, that's a baller-ass photo of him, so definitely love this slide. Again, love when all the Reds get to come together. That doesn't sound right, but regardless, Mario Williams definitely would be can you imagine that? Brandon Cook's probably going to be gone at this point, so he's going to take in that role. So it's going to be Brandon Cooks' role, now filled with Mario Williams, Quentin Johnston, Nico Collins, Mechie, Dameon Pierce. You see where this is going. Bryce Young, Zach Zinter. It's going to be ridiculous. Then you got Smael Mondon here. I think I moved him up a couple spots. So really good linebacker there. Very versatile. I would love to see where he goes versus where Nakobe Dean went. Very similar mold, if I'm not mistaken, in terms of their size, but less injury history again. So might see him move up quite a bit more. Very good player, but obviously I don't see him on that Nakobe Dean level, but I was a huge Nakobe Dean guy. This team definitely could use that extra linebacker help. I like sniping him late, but when Smael is here, I think it'd be pretty fun to bring him on. Denzel Burke, star corner from Ohio State. Maybe not so much of a star. He definitely has a lot of talent. He's 5-star. He definitely could be one of these guys who takes a big step up. Been a while since we've seen an Ohio State corner be able to be dominant at the next level. It's been a draft or two, so it'd be nice to see them come back. Obviously, this team drafted Shaun Wade a couple years ago, so being able to see Denzel Burke step into that mold could be awesome. Definitely like that. Then the Chargers going Bucky Irving. I think he might be the best running back in the country at the moment. I am just a huge Bucky Irving fanboy. I think he'd be a great addition to the Chargers, where if you need that one more piece, Austin Eckler might just not be that guy where you can give the ball and hand it off multiple times, or 20 times a game. Bucky Irving probably fits that mold a little bit better. Next, we got Andrew Makuba. I think that's such a great fit, too, to the Vikings. Now you're pairing him up with Andrew Booth, which, not mistaken, I think they played together. They did. So Makuba in his true freshman year, as well as Booth. So I do like that. You have that instant synergy in that secondary, too. You have Lewisine, Andrew Makuba, and now you also have, you have a pretty damn stacked DB core now. So I do like that quite a bit. Eli Ricks, you're pairing up the Bama boys. I did not take him in the last mock draft because I was like, he's probably going to return so he can be a first rounder. Now he's pairing up with Trevon Diggs. You got the Bama boys there. Both of them are really damn talented in terms of their ball skills. It's a hand in glove fit there for the Cowboys. Next, we got Leonard Taylor here for the Bengals. He's an interior pressure machine. I know that DJ Reader has just been absolutely an amazing star for them year after year. So they'll probably put a lot of value into these star defensive interiors. Leonard Taylor should be going higher, but again, it's a really good class already. Like, I'm already ready to go into like a round 2 potentially. Like, it's that good. These past 2 years, we're seeing a plethora of talent, and I just love to see that. Then we got Dante Trader. I know DB isn't the primary focus of the Dolphins, but Trader is just so nasty as a DB. I love seeing where he could fit in this defense. Like, I think the offense is pretty well secured, and I think that like McDaniel's going to be able to get the most out of lower level talents on offense. I think it's good to start spending some higher round picks on defense, and Trader is a supreme weapon. He was, for you guys in my last mock draft, the pick, so I'm going to stick to it. I really like him a lot. Pick number 29, Calen Bullock, also first team for PFF. True sophomore. He's a little bit light. I think he's 185 pounds, but he is one of their safeties. He's been absolutely locked down in terms of his interceptions. He's just been really, really good. Somebody who could take a huge step up next year if Caleb Williams tries to make another run at the championship, which I think they will anyway. But the Eagles, definitely you could use that DB in there. I know Blankenship's been playing well, but when you can get an upgrade, you take the upgrade. Pick number 30, Trey Henderson. Again, I ended up keeping, so now you're going to have a really dynamic running back core. There's just not really much to it. I mean, I got Blake Corum for the Bills, so technically this isn't exactly the best pick. And if I were to try to pull another pick out of nowhere, I'm thinking about it, I'd probably want to go after an offensive lineman for this team. That's probably the position I would probably try to target. I wanted to show some love to Trey Henderson. It doesn't really make sense there with Blake Corum. Now that I'm sitting here, like, taking this in, I mean, obviously, I would consider the Georgia tackle, who's going to be the next pick. So, pretty entertaining there. So, technically, if I would run it back, and we're just going to say this one's written in the books, we'll fix it next time, I would end up going after Amarius Mims, tackle from Georgia. He'd be a nice fit. Granted, he'd challenge Spencer Brown because he's a right tackle, but at this moment, I think that's the best choice for them. Trey Henderson, though, you could see Blake Corum just not be the guy that you need, and then you really just want to take a step up. Trey Henderson is going to be that type of guy for you. And then Connor Pay. So Connor Pay could have also been a good spot. This guy's been a baller at center. I'm a huge fan of Connor Pay. Came in, he has a great size to him. He's over 300 pounds, and he's had pretty consistent start. I think he's played, might have been 800 snaps. And he's been doing a really good job. Very few pressures. I think he has some of the lowest in the country. So, big fan of what Connor Pay can bring to the table, especially for a team like the Niners who are going to be looking for some extra help on the interior. Then you got Amarius Mims, who could have also been this pick too. But Amarius Mims, offensive tackle there for Georgia, 330 pounds, 6'7". He's allowed, I think, 2 pressures this year on limited snaps, but definitely shows some really good talent. So that's going to be the video, guys. Obviously, this type of stuff takes the most work out of everything in terms of graphics work. So would love you guys to show some support. Let me know what you guys think. Who are your favorite guys coming out next year? Leave that all down below or in the Discord. Talk to you soon. Thank you, and see you on the far side. Peace.